Hello and welcome to Separated by Water, the podcast ostensibly for Irish fans of English teams. My name is Colin Campbell. I'm a Spurs season ticket holder. My colleague and co-host is Paul, who's a lifelong Nottingham Forest fan. And we've been quite a lot to get through today. So, Paul, over to you. You want to ask me about the Super Cup and you want to talk about Nottingham Forest transfers so far?
Yeah, we'll do both. Yeah, I just want to say that we're going to have another guest coming on with us, a guy who's doing a walk from Cork to Portrush, 400 miles in 15 days. I started off the walk with him on Sunday morning and done a few kilometres with him, and he's going to check in with us, all being well, maybe in 15 minutes' time or so, and we'll find out how he's getting on. An amazing effort by him. Just can't believe how he's going to do 400 miles in 15 days. But anyway, back to your stuff. Tell us about the Super Cup. You were 2-0 up, were you?
Yes, we were.
And
yes, and we lost. Well, we didn't lose. We lost in penalties. Now, let me say, if you go back to our last podcast and a few before that, first thing I'd said about Thomas Frank, I said I was intrigued by his appointment, and I remain increasingly intrigued. I like what I see. Secondly, I did predict a 3-2 either the Spurs or Paris Saint-Germain. I couldn't have come any closer. But in Tottenham that night, I asked for shape and commitment, and I got both. So I wanted on record that I was very happy with what I saw from that Tottenham team that night. Now, why did we lose 3-2? Was it Spursy? Not so much. Surprisingly to me, I have to say, I thought Richarlison had a blinder, getting into their faces and hassling them. He and Sarr hassled them in their own half, and they didn't get any space. Whenever Richarlison and Sarr went off to the replacements, who were just a little bit off the pace, yet to be fit, Solanke and Gray, they left a bit of space. Paris Saint-Germain got new players on, got into our half. They got a shot, good shot from outside the area. The telling one was our defence when they tired, and they did, obviously. They also dropped a yard back off PSG, and they got that cross in. They turned it on the right-hand wing against Spence was a lovely feint, beautiful cross, great goal. Can't complain. And then you lose. Well, what can you do? But what I'm taking out of it is lots of good things. And I'm happy about how clinical the performance was on Saturday. So I'm a relatively happy bunny. Don't ask me about Daniel Levy and our transfers, but so far, a very happy bunny.
Okay, so you capitulated.
Yeah.
You got beat, but you're very happy.
Well, if you look at the paper, it says 2 each, and we lost on penalties. Capitulation? No, I've just described what it was. But to the best team in the world, I know they lost to Chelsea, and I predicted that too. But I know I'm happy enough to go toe-to-toe with PSG, given what we've been through. It was okay by my happy enough.
Yeah, fair enough. All joking aside, it was a great effort. Son's gone. Are you missing him playing at the weekend? Do you feel you're missing him, or do you feel that? I think Richarlison has stepped up to the mark. I think he's going to take a leading role now, and he played like somebody who should be wearing the captain's armband. You know.
Yeah, I think about Son. We'll miss the Son at his peak, but he hasn't been at his peak for the last couple of years, and probably, in all truth, will not miss what he was bringing to us in the last year or two. Because we've got to move on. But he will always be a legend. He'll always be a legend in my book, and he'll be very welcome at Tottenham Stadium anytime he wishes. Richarlison could turn out to be the find of the season. I was always sceptical. I always thought he spent too much time on his backside. He seemed injury prone. And yet there was this guy who led the Brazil attack. And I said, well, we want to see that one. And more recently, in our more defensive moments last year under Big Ange, when he was up front, he was doing a great, lone warrior job, blocking passes, pressurising defenders. And it was a new aspect to his game. It wasn't just about nutting them in from 6 yards out. And I think this is good. And he did it again, plus the Saturday, and both of them Were very, very good goals, well angled. So he could be the find of the season for us. And, he should be. He was 16 million a few years ago. Probably what would be 70 now, whatever. He was an international. He had English league, experience with Watford and Everton. So, yeah, I want to give him another chance. Definitely. Yeah.
Good. The weekend, your start of the season, are you happy with it? Are you?
Yeah. Yes, I Burnley had one of the best defensive records last season. I think they did okay. I have a lot of time for Scott Parker, an ex-Tottenham boy, very honest, good, salt of the earth type. He realised Burnley got ripped apart the last time they were in the Premier League, and last season he went about making them impossible to score against. And I admired what he was trying to do. Keep them up. You mightn't have seen too much evidence there. They did leave gaps on Saturday, particularly against Richarlison and later in the game, with Johnson getting through. But yeah, maybe they've enough, maybe. But I'm happy from our point of view. Those can be banana skins. A newly promoted team fired up and ready for it can sometimes embarrass you. And I'm happy to have got through with 3 goals, no injuries, and a clean sheet. Yeah, happy
Good.
Again.
Yeah, well, it's very true, as you said to me the other day. You have to beat who's in front of you, no matter who they are. And I equally was very happy with our start to the season. I said to you off air there a couple of minutes ago, I think you'll struggle to see a better 35, 40 minutes of football the first 40 minutes. Our midfield, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Chris Wood scoring 2 goals at the start of the season. Everybody's saying he'll never emulate what he done last year, but he started off well, a brace in the first day, and 2 very well taken goals. Igor, Ndoye, Dan Ndoye, our new signing, scored a great header, sitting joint 4th with Liverpool in the league, so very happy with it. The goal difference, we get a dodgy penalty against us. I have to say, I thought it was there was one at the other end that wasn't given, and they were both more or less very similar. But anyway, still come away with the victory. So very happy. I cannot complain. Tell us, we're going to do later on. We're going to do the Fast 5 thing. I'll actually play the intro to it. This is. What's this about? What are we going to be doing? I'm nervous. I have to be honest.
Yeah, well, you're not to know because you will be the guinea pig, if you will. You'll be the subject of the first one. Fast 5 is a new, speedy approach to gaining answers from someone. I will ask you 5 questions related to Nottingham Forest. The answer must be either yes or no. The closed questions, yes or no, in the space of a minute. And then at those answers, I'll ask you to explain in more detail. Okay? Simple as that.
One of the answers.
Yeah, one. I'll just pick one. I'll pick the one. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll look at the 5 you've given either a yes or no to, see the one that interests me most, and ask you to explain. Okay?
Perfect.
And we can do that. You could reverse it, do it in another week, and we can do it with some others. So what it does is it keeps us to the point, gets us there, and then elicits something that we think requires more explanation, So that's Fast 5.
I hope I can answer the questions. Anyway, so talk to me. Spurs transfers. Have you anybody new in? Have you anybody they're talking to?
You will be able to answer them. They're opinion questions. They're not who won the FA Cup in 1954. Will such and such happen? Tottenham's transfers. Well, how far back do you want to go? We signed Martin Chivers, I think, in 1968, which is quite good. Steve Archibald, Garth Crooks came
talking about this season.
Which was
talking
good.
about this season.
After that, well,
have you got anybody since you didn't get Morgan Gibbs-White? Have you signed anybody?
Since we dumped the idea of Martin Gibbs-White, who did it, like I said, maybe not good enough, we've looked at a few others. But look, I've said this before, and this is where I do get into bother. I want to know what Tottenham's transfer strategy is. And once they explain it, would you, for God's sake, get on with it? Every other team in the league, Forest must have signed about 3,000 players. Every other team in the league seems to be able to do their business and get it done. We have
No,
two
we
key.
haven't signed 3,000, and I'm not going to let you get away with that. We did
No,
the first season we come up. We
2,900,
had a scattergun approach.
2,999.
We have signed. There's who we've signed. We've signed good players, one of who's scored on Saturday already. Omari Hutchinson, under 21 from Ipswich, signed. Dan Ndoye, signed,
Right.
scored a goal at the weekend. Kalimuendo, signed. Centre forward, scores goals for fun. James McAtee, who you would have loved to have had at Spurs. You would love to have him as a backup. Under 21.
No, yeah.
Igor Jesus. Igor Jesus. That is not 1,000 players. I think you'll find we're signed about 9 or 10 players.
The print's so small to get them on the page, you can hardly read it.
Well, I've just told you who they are. And we're talking to Rico Luiz, and Douglas Luiz apparently is on the way to Forest for medical. So we'll just wait and see how they go. I'm very happy with them.
Good.
Very happy with the signings. Happy with the signings.
Some of ours were done early. Danzo, who was on loan from last season. Tell. No doubt Daniel Levy's now looking for William Tell. But, those are all as maybe from our point of view. I think, Spurs set them up with Gibbs White. Kudus has played very well the last 2 games. Happy with that. But we know we need more. And the thing is, they were identified. Whatever happens with Gibbs White, that's over. Well, identified is from Savino from City. Now go and get them. Stop mucking about. City don't want to sell it. What it means is they don't want to sell until they get closer to the money they want. What is this going on with Palace? Spurs need to be the club they used to be. When I mentioned those players, Chivers, Archibald, they were top of the range at that time, and we went and got them. Let's do that. Let's be the big guy, the big club again, and get it sorted out and help the manager to get the players in as early as possible.
Colin, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Colin. We're joined by Marcus Christie, who's the gentleman who's doing the walk. Marcus, how are you, my friend?
I've finished anyway.
How are we,
how are you?
Can you hear me okay?
Good.
Hi, Marcus.
Yes, Marcus, I'll just do a quick introduction for you. This is Marcus Christie who's joining us. He's walking 400 miles in 15 days for the Air Ambulance Ireland. Well done, sir. How is it going, and how's the body?
Yeah. It's going well. Just coming into Thurles. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Coming in here now. Thurles, that's the one. It's all right. The spot the paddy in the call. The left foot is bad, but we're getting there. That's 24 miles done today, so still doing about 3 miles an hour. So still decent enough rate pace. So
that's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And Colin.
Yeah. I mean, Marcus, hello. First of all, I compliment you on your efforts. I think it's fantastic. There, that is some going.
I thought you were going to compliment me on spending 5 miles with Paul earlier on the week.
All right, that's very different. No, that you have my deepest commiserations for that. You might deepest sympathy with that.
I'd like to do him a bit of charity, right? Do him a bit of charity.
Yeah, well, did Paul do these 7 kilometers? Is this right?
He did, and he was fast. Like, he wasn't waiting around. So fair play to him.
What did you tell him that? You must have told him it was last orders. It was happy hour in some bar. But no, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any things that, from my own experience, things that sometimes worry me. It's not often the muscles go, whatever it is. It's the feet. Any blisters or ingrown toenails or anything like that that's killing you?
Oh yeah, the feet are buggered. I'm going to stop walking here for a second because I'm going to lose you probably in the signal. But the right foot's got plenty of blisters. The left foot's, the big toenail's about to fall off, and I've inflamed the tendon apparently. So I sent a picture to the physio last night, and he said, yeah, the left foot's about twice the size of the right foot. So he thinks it's footwear. So I'm actually coming into this town now. I'm going to go to an Intersport here, or an Elvery's. So I'm going to go there. Yeah, so I'm going to go there and probably have to buy a new pair of trainers because these just aren't doing it, sadly. So he thinks it's the footwear is causing the tendon inflammation. So So yeah.
Well, not
So,
Hope you get it sorted. Hope you get it sorted.
Asics shoes have always been very well regarded, and I've always found them to be very, very good. Lovely.
Well, that's what I've used in the past, and it's just because I was kindly sponsored. I'll not mention their name because then I'll probably be doing badness for them. But I was sponsored by very generously, but just they're just not working for me. I think they're more designed for running than walking. So,
right.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Fair comment.
Marcus, this isn't your first endeavour for Air Ambulance Ireland. Tell us about the previous couple of things you've done. Astounding.
Yes, well, so last time what did I do last? 2 years ago, we did the 3 highest peaks in the UK. So that's England, Scotland, and Wales. Did that in 24 hours. So that was Ben Nevis, Scafell Pike, and then Snowdon. So did that in just under 22 hours. We did it in, which is fantastic. And then last year, I climbed Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So that was a bit more challenging. But this is definitely the hardest thing. Only in day 3 out of 15, and that's definitely the hardest thing yet.
Wow.
So it is.
Wow.
Well done.
I have a question for you, Marcus.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you do this? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, here.
But why?
Yeah, so it's perfect. It's just good. So obviously my mum died 2.5 years ago, and when the accident happened, I had rung 999 at 2 o'clock exactly, and at just before 2, the helicopter was landed at the scene in a residential property of all places. So and to my idea, it was because Mum Sally was deceased. I saw it as a wasted journey for them. So I wanted to originally pay them back for that journey because it could have been somewhere else, maybe looking after somebody who had more of a chance. And then the more research I did, the more I found out how much it costs. It costs about £8,000 a day to operate. It's about twice a day. It gets very little, if none, government funding. So I wanted to try and just say thank you, and it's snowballed from there, I suppose.
Well done.
Fantastic.
And for anybody who wants to donate to this worthy cause, I've put a link in the bio at the bottom, and I just wish you all the best and getting you up the road, mate. And hopefully you'll get there with hopefully the injuries will fix themselves or ease a bit with new footwear. Hopefully, if you're okay with it, we'll maybe get you on next Tuesday and see how you're getting on, where you are at that stage.
Well, I should be in the north next Tuesday, so that'll be good. So I'll be north of the border next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll all be well. You're a football fan. This is a football podcast. Newcastle's a United supporter. Were you happy with your start to the season?
It could be better, but hopefully we need to buy some players. We need to start getting something half decent on the go. So sadly, our friend has more or less down tools. So hopefully we can.
Just lost you a bit there. Marcus, you're gone. You're back. You're back. I hope.
I'll let you go now because it's crap signal. So.
All right, Marcus. Thank you very much. We will wish you all the best. And at the Turles Hayes Hotel tonight, there's 2 pints in the barrel for you. I'm going to ring them as soon as the podcast over. There's a couple of pints of Guinness in the barrel for you. Enjoy them, and thanks for coming on to us.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus.
Cheers.
Take care.
See you, lads. Bye.
Proud of you, buddy. Proud of you. Take care. There we go. What a cause, what a man, what a guy. Unbelievable. Colin, I've been asked to ask you on continuation. This is a question that's run for 3 episodes now. So this is the third part. The first week you said where for a Spurs should be. And then last week you said they should be top 4. So we want to clarify. Who are the other teams in the top 4 with you?
Yeah, let me clarify 2 things. Maybe I said top 4 specifically about that. Probably what I'm referring to is what we call the Big 4. Okay. Spurs may not be season, but I would say that Spurs are eternally one of the traditional Big 4. And the Big 4 were always historically Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Chelsea and City fans and Leeds will go, whoa. I'm talking about the je ne sais quoi, the magic dust, the thing that just exists that makes these clubs a wee bit better, a wee bit different. I do believe, for example, City if the Qataris pulled out of City within 2 years, I think there's a danger they'd be back to Blackburn. I think Chelsea speaks for itself. They won a lot of trophies, but there's just something missing. And I think Tottenham have that. So that's what I mean by that. The top four is more of a changing feast in terms of who occupies it. United are probably as far away from that as Spurs at the minute. But the big four, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur. Okay.
Well, I have a question for you off the back of that.
Yeah.
Question off the back of that. When did you last finish top four?
2023, I think it was, or 2022. It was a season with when sadly we lost Nuno. Conte came in, we finished fourth, qualified for the Champions League. So prior to that, it was 2019, and then 5 years or 6 years in a row, right leading up to that. We're in the top three, in fact. So if you're talking about the top four, that's what it was. But I think in terms of history, the magic dust, as I call it, they're just that je ne sais quoi that certain teams have. Those are the four. So that's my explanation.
Okay. Right. The word delusional comes to mind. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just let it go. Okay.
Thank you.
To tell you what we're doing, I meant to mention this last week. I met a Wrexham supporter out in Portugal a couple of weeks ago who is involved in media, and he's agreed to come on with us at some stage. So we'll maybe do a call with him. Or a 20-minute thing with them just to see what it's like being a Wrexham fan and holding up the tails as they fly up through the leagues. I think that'd be a good one to do. Tomorrow, we're going to do our predictions. So what I've done is I've sent out all the contributors. I've sent them all out, and Colin as well, and myself, predictions of where your own team will finish, your top goal scorer, top four, and top three relegated, or the three to be relegated, and the big team who you think is going to do badly and have an absolute mare. So we'll do that tomorrow afternoon. We're going to keep today short enough. So I guess, Colin, it's time to do the fast five. So I'm not joking. I'm nervous. I don't get nervous about these things. But we'll do the fast five. So here we go.
Okay, Paul, these are quick fire. I require a yes or no answer. Simple, no elaboration. Yes or no. Okay. Question number one. Will Nottingham Forest finish above Manchester United this season?
Yes.
Okay. Question number two. Will Nuno still be Forest manager at the end of the season?
Yes.
Okay. Question number three. Will Morgan Gibbs-White leave in the January window?
No.
Okay. Number four. Will Chris Wood score 10 goals or more in the league this season?
Yes.
And final question. By whichever means, will Forest qualify for Europe again?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
And I can explain any of them answers to you.
Okay, well, I'll choose that. Now, just to recap for people, Forest will finish above Manchester United. Nuno will continue as their manager into the following season. Morgan Gibbs-White will be at Nottingham Forest in February. Chris Wood will score 10 goals or more in the league. And Forest will qualify for Europe, winning one of the cups or being high enough up in the league. Okay, very, very good. Very, very good. Okay, I picked one then to ask you to explain. I'm going to go for question number 5. You said Forest will qualify for Europe again at the end of this coming season. How do you see that figuring out? How are they going to do it?
After watching us on Saturday, with only one of our new signings coming on, Dan Ndoye, who scored. The signings we've made are very exciting, Colin. You can joke, but I'm telling you, they're very, very exciting. Since we were moved up into the Europa League, it seems that everything was being held in abeyance by the recruitment team. Obviously, this was the carrot and the stick to get the good players in. We have a second 11 now that matches the 11 we had last year, which really should have, if we had had a few more players rather than another 11, we would have, I think, held the place to go into the Champions League. But we run out of steam. I don't think we'll run out of steam this year. The first 35, 40 minutes of football, as I said earlier, I tell you now, you'll have to look around very hard to see as exciting the football again. And I think that we've got the stamina, we've got the capabilities, we've got the midfield, we've got the strikers, and we've got the defence to keep anybody at bay. And I look forward to playing some of the bigger teams. Some might say it was only Brentford, they're probably going to get relegated. You have to beat who's there, and we beat them convincingly. And Matt Sells had played a blinder again. So I've no doubt in my mind, Colin. I've no doubt in my mind.
Okay, but how are you going to do that? Okay, that's a lovely 35 minutes of football. Good, plenty of transfers. Good, good win against Brentford. Good, check all three. How are you going to qualify for Europe? But you're alluding to that you'll finish high enough in the league, top 5, top 6.
I think it'll be one of two ways or better. I think we can go all the way in the Europa League. I think we really can. And I think we'll do very well this year. I think we'll do top 6 again. I believe we can do top 6. You can slag off Marinakis all you want, but this man has bought this club to win, to succeed, to be in Europe. He's done it with Olympiacos, and he's going to do it with Forest. So get used to us being about, because that's where we're going to be. We're going to be in the top 6. We're going to be at the top end of the Premiership. And anybody who thinks we are or not are very foolish. Regarding the Man United question, I have a running bet with somebody, €2 a week, and every week last year he paid me the money, and the first week this year he's paid me the money. So. I didn't see anything to get too excited about Man United. I thought Arsenal were pretty average as well. I thought Man United were pretty average, they got beat by a pretty average Arsenal team, who no doubt will be too strong and will be there at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's very, very early, but no, I mean you've answered that. It sounds like Forest are in for a great season, and you will finish high enough. Now, one of the things I would say to you is, I think people were ambushed a little bit by Tottenham winning the Europa League and getting into the Champions League. I think people have forgotten about that. And I think all of a sudden the Europa League is a much more attractive trophy now, you know?
Yeah.
You've Aston Villa in there, who will see the benefits of that. So, yeah, there are no gimmies in that. I take your point, of course, is when you're talking about that, do they burn brightly on all fronts and fail on them all? You know, teams have done that before. The accepted wisdom is that Ange decided to let us lose every league game, strangely, and win Europa League. A very, very, very dangerous strategy, in my opinion, because it all turns on a match or a decision within a match. But yeah, I mean, I accept what you're saying. To finish above United is always nice. You know, we didn't do that last year. Morgan Gibbs Wood. Chris Wood, I think, will be a factor, either negatively or positively. What I mean by that is he's punched above his weight for Forest over the last few years. I really do think that.
Incredible.
And someday, you know, it's going to go. I still think Vardy, some backup there of that nature would serve Forest well, you know.
Colin, we've signed one of the best strikers you could ever ask for in this Kalimuendo. He's coming from where's he coming from? Yeah, he's coming from Renne. He's coming from Renne. Yeah. Now I know the French league. I know the French league isn't what you might say, but he scores goals. If you look at his YouTube best bits, I know what people say, but he's an astounding player. Igor Jesus and Dan Ndoye, who scored already. We have got goal
Okay.
scorers in abundance, and we don't need a geriatric Jamie Vardy coming in to play.
Well, that's just maybe, but I was talking about Chris Wood and what he brings to the team, and what he brings is experience, a wise eye. These guys will, let's just see how they do over the space of a season. But I've suggested it to you, and you have not liked it. Let's put it diplomatically like that. So Vardy will go somewhere else, perhaps. But I still think there's a very good goal scorer there who could put a shift in for somebody. In the way at the time, I think the accepted wisdom was that his career at the top, in inverted commas, was over. He left Newcastle, gone to Forest, and did work wonders with Forest, in my opinion. I was always a fan of that, of him. His honesty, his work.
Final point on Jamie Vardy. He's Leicester through and through, and our biggest derby team is either Derby or Leicester. He's not going to want to come to Nottingham Forest. The Leicester fan base would not be happy with him doing that.
Well, I think it would give him a bye-ball in his career, But that says maybe there'll be a team there. If it doesn't happen this year, it will probably be Wrexham next year, But I mean, it's not for me to choose Forest. Choose Forest players for them. I mean, they do well enough.
So I'll do a fast five for you next week. Listen out for the songs.
That's the format, yes. We'll see how it goes.
Did you hear the singing in the terraces this week? Did you?
No. What? Tell me this one.
Maranakis. Hits the Tottenham, he hits the Palace. Forest are magic.
Right. That's good. It doesn't rhyme.
Well, it does rhyme. It does. It rhymes fine for me. Anyway, we'll call it a day at that. Colin, we'll do the predictions tomorrow.
I think the words could be Maranakis. He's totally crackus. If he thinks Morgan gives white, think of a word to rhyme there. Maranakis. So there.
Yeah, well, you could come up with that next week or tomorrow if you want.
Okay, this could be a trend. Don't ask me to think one of Daniel Levy, because we do want to stay on air.
We're going to have to have an episode without you moaning about Daniel Levy, by the way. Just one episode.
I'll try.
Okay,
I'll try.
Okay.
Well, you signed the two players, and we're all good, and we're going down on our predictions.
He hasn't signed them yet.
No.
We'll go into our predictions tomorrow, and I have to say a couple of contributors have it out for you, but I'll not name them at the moment. A couple are saying that Spurs are going to have a shocker this year, so we'll just wait and see. And you never know. It's always the people closest to you that knife you, Colin. Just there's a wee clue for you.
That's true. That's why I live alone. I stay away from everyone. No, I don't care what to say. Thomas the Frank engine will take us. I think we're on a journey.
Yeah, it's not Thomas the Frank engine, but we can't say it on here. But anyway, so it's not. Right, we'll call it a day at that, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, guys. If you are listening to this after the event, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. I want to just say a final shout out to Marcus Christie. More power to him. I don't know how he's going to get through it. That's him, must be about 70 odd miles in. If you see him along the way, give him a toot. He'll be in the north by this time next week. Hopefully we'll talk to him next week as well. And fair play to him. What a commendable, worthy challenge this is. And as you said, like Kilimanjaro, he's finding this one tougher than any of them. So it just shows you. I walked 5 or 6 miles with him, 7K, whatever it was, and I had to walk it back the way, and I couldn't move yesterday. So I can only imagine how he's feeling. I've done no preparation, but fair play to him, and I'm very proud of him. And I never met his mother, but my daughter and her husband, Lyndon Craig, talked very highly of her, and she was a great woman. So anyway, we'll and there's a link in the bio if you want to make any donations to the Air Ambulance challenge. Okay, Colin, anything you want to say before we knock it off today?
No, just sign those players, and I'll be happy gunning tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be
Yep.
happy with me tomorrow. All right.
You'll
See you
still be
soon.
unhappy.
Cheers.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow for our predictions from all the contributors and our most the viewer who's put the most comments into the comment section. Fergus Harrington has done predictions for us as well. So we'll find out how he thinks Man United is going to do and all the other contributors. All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.